Okay, so now a big topic, trigonometry. Now, trigonometry comes up in both the higher and the foundation papers. The higher paper tends to come up a little bit more detail, but this today is just the basics. So the first thing you've got to do, whenever you see a question where you've got a right angle triangle that involves an angle, it's going to be a trig question. So the first thing we do is we've got to label the sides. Now, I suggest watching this bit of the video over a couple of times. Now, when you've got an angle in your right angle triangle, the opposite side is what we call the opposite. And then we've got a longest side. Now, the longest side is the one that's opposite the right angle, and that's called the hypotenuse. So we label that one with H. Then the remaining one, which always touches the angle, is the adjacent. So if we have a look at the second question over here, the one that is the question mark, that's going to be the opposite. The longest one, which is the one that's opposite the right angle, is the hypotenuse, and that one's going to be the adjacent. Now, what we need to do is we need to see which two sides are involved in the question. So if we go back to the first question, we've been given the opposite, and we're looking for the hypotenuse. So we don't actually need the adjacent. So now what we do is we have a look at which of the trig triangles, the SO, the CA, the TOA, involves these letters O and H. And that's going to be this one here. So because we're looking for the hypotenuse, what we do is we cover up the hypotenuse letter, and that's going to be O divided by S. So we write down that the hypotenuse equals the opposite, which is 14, divided by S. Now S stands for sine, which is the sine button on the calculator. So sine of the angle. So 14 divided by sine 37. So if we do that, 14 divided by sine 37, we get 23.3. So the hypotenuse equals 23.3 centimeters. Now if we do the same again for the next question. So we've got O, we've got A, and we've got H. Now O is the one we're looking for, A is the one we've been given. We don't need H at all. So the trig of the SO, CA, TOA triangles at the top here, the SO, CA, TOA triangles, the one that involves O and A, which are the sides involved in this question, is this one, TOA. So which one are we looking for? We're looking for O. So we cover up O, and it's going to be T times by A, so they're on the same level. So we write down then that the opposite equals T, which is tan. So it's going to be tan of the angle, because the T, the C, and the S are tan, cos, and sin, and that's the angle. So tan of the angle times by the adjacent, which in this case is 28. So we do tan 62, and then we make sure we put the close brackets on that, and times by 28, and we get 52.7 if we round it correctly. And that's going to be meters in this case. Now, what I'd like to do is pause the video and have a go at the next question, and then see how you get on. So this is the question that I'd like to have a go at. So step 1, label the sides. Step 2, decide which of these triangles you want to use. And step 3, substitute the numbers in. So pause the video, have a go at that. And if you've done that, you label them O for the opposite side, H for the hypotenuse, because that's the one that's opposite the right angle, and then you've got the other one, which is A. Now, O in this case is blank, we don't need O. So the trig triangle which uses A and H is going to be this one. So what we do is we cover up the letter that we're looking for, which in this case is H. So we can see that H is A divided by C. So we write down hypotenuse equals A, which is 19.2, divided by C, which as we said earlier is cos of the angle. So 19.2 divided by cos 43, and that gives us 26.3. That's going to be millimeters. Well done, and keep watching this one over and over, and hopefully you should get it.